Alright, what's going on, guys? I haven't done a video on the Tremor in a while, and she's got almost 7,000 miles, so we're doing like a 6,000 mile review slash update on the truck. And so far we're really liking it. We're really happy with all the options that we went with, but kind of wanted to dive into some of the other things that we haven't really talked about yet and what we like and dislike about the truck. But yeah, I still think it's a super bang for your buck truck now that trucks are so expensive. This truck's MSRP is like 63,000 around there, and with A plan we got it for 58. So we're really happy with the options that it has. But when you compare it to building an XLT with some of the options that we wanted on this truck, the Tremor package just really made sense for us, since when you build up an XLT enough to something like this, it ends up costing about the same or more, and you get the special Tremor package with all the extra bling and some of the other goodies. And our main points for the truck, we wanted a 5-liter V8, and we really liked the antimatter blue. A lot of guys have commented talking about the EcoBoost being better, but if you ask most mechanics at a Ford dealership, they're going to say the 5-liter. It's way simpler to work on, and we've been really happy with it so far, because we don't want to worry about the reliability of the truck. We use it as a toy hauler, so we want to have fun with our toys and not have to worry about working on our truck. One of the main things that we learned with the truck after we got it, and luckily isn't a big deal for us, but I do think will affect quite a few people if they're looking to haul stuff frequently, is the Tremor's not a great option for those looking to haul 8,000 plus pounds on a frequent basis, because the softer suspension in the back, the truck just wants to squat. And I know a lot of people do put the air suspension in the back to alleviate that, but if you're not looking to do the air suspension in the back, I don't think it's a great option or a great package for you. And a lot of people, to level out the truck, because the back end's higher, they'll put a leveling kit on the front, but if you're hauling anything, the softer suspension's going to squat down, and it's going to look like a Carolina squat. So the truck's going to squat and lift the front end even more exaggerated than it does just the way it is now. The same goes for the Raptor, and then we'll bring it around to the back here. But yeah, I wanted to touch on the work surface, quote unquote work surface. It's a slip surface. It's not good for anything really. We've actually thought about putting a rubber mat over top of it, or trying to find a rubber mat to replace it, along with the step. It's kind of been a waste. We haven't really used it. But moving forward to the regular rubber mat that we got from Ford, the F-150 bed mat, does have a huge bubble in it, if you can see that. And I think that's really part of the molding of how they make it. So I definitely wouldn't recommend getting the factory mat. All right, and then even though we weren't happy with the step for the tailgate and the mat, it does have the bed lighting and the perimeter lighting is kind of all the same package. And I do think that part of the package is totally worth it. And if you have to get this, I still think it's worth getting, because the lighting is so cool. And it does make it really nice for loading up stuff at night. But I have several videos on the truck, and I'll have a playlist in the description below. But the one issue we did have with the truck is the trailer connect right here. We did have a faulty one from the factory. It was defective and would do all kind of weird things, throwing like error codes on the dash. But I have a whole video on that, and we just ended up replacing it with an older version to fix the problem. But that was really our only problem with the truck so far. So other than that, we've been really happy with it. And then moving to the side of the truck, I wanted to touch on some things like the rear window. On our old F-150, it didn't do that. It seems like they've cheapened up some of the things on the truck. Now we do like the side rails, because they are nice and sturdy and they're functional. So when you're like washing the car, because we hand wash all our vehicles, you can actually use it and get up top here. And while I'm up top here, kind of wanted to show kind of a flaw in their design and some of their trim pieces, like this one up here. You can see it just is already curled up, so water's going to get underneath it. And one final thing on the side here I wanted to mention, we didn't really notice it for a while, is the headrests. So on our old F-150 FX4 package, it had adjustable headrests. But yeah, they really cheaped out on the headrests on the Tremor because they're non-adjustable, so this is solid mounted. And then I also just wanted to talk about some of the driving characteristics of the truck and comparing them to our old F-150. The transmission, we really like it, and having some of the modes like the tow haul mode does make it really nice because you don't have to wear out your brakes. You know, it downshifts and slows you down quite a bit. But in general, the 10-speed automatic isn't as smooth as our old 6-speed F-150. And we also noticed with putting it into tow haul mode or sport mode is the cylinder deactivation doesn't seem to be apparent in those modes. That's what we were really worried about when we got it, because we were not a fan of the cylinder deactivation. But in those two modes, it doesn't seem like the cylinder deactivation is active in those two modes. And then the one performance mod that we have done to the truck is our AFE intake, and we've been really happy with it so far. One thing I did want to note though is that the filter is no longer blue, so the oil film on the filter is completely gone, and that really happened pretty quick after installing it. But the sound is really neat when you want to get on it. Dad did get this as like a luxury truck, so sometimes, you know, it can be a little much, but overall we're really happy with how it sounds. And while we're in the car, everything looks pretty nice, and the Apple CarPlay is pretty sweet. But this is our we didn't pay enough button for the rear camera. Even though the car has the rear camera, we don't have access to view it while we're driving because we don't have the full 360 camera package. So that was one thing we were kind of disappointed by, because it's just a software thing that they limit you. And it would have been nice if they didn't block that out so we could look at our whatever we're hauling with our trailers to make sure that they look all good. So it's kind of a bummer. Or you could pay the extra money and get the full 360 to have access to your rear view camera. Or maybe I'm wrong and this always has it no matter what package you have. But let me know in the comments if you know if the full 360 camera package still has that message. But yeah, we've been really happy with the truck. Just wanted to give a quick update on it and wanted to touch on some of the things like the towing, because I do think that is really important to know. If you are hauling over 6,000 pounds, 8,000 pounds, the suspension is a little light, but we've been really happy with the Tremor package. And overall, it's a great sounding truck and great running truck. And if you don't get it loaded up, it is a really affordable package, especially when you only have 3 options like we do. But I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.